What's up, guys, and welcome to the last few days before Bash to the Future. As you can see, we're starting each video from now on with a countdown. So we have 12 days left. Now that's 12 days from the point that we recorded it, not the time you guys see it. We're still uploading a week late just so that we have time to edit and everything, and we can still get you the Bash to the Future content in like consecutive with the with this daily set. So
at T-minus 6 days, we'll be at the track.
Yeah, for you guys, yeah. So 6 days from when you guys are seeing this, we'll be driving. Michael's made some solid progress. He's just getting some last minute things ordered up. And I still have the 6 things on my list to do, plus the brake calipers. I did get the stuff to rebuild those, so we're gonna do that today. But for these next 2 weeks, we are gonna try to bring you true daily videos because there's gonna be a lot of action, a lot of drama.
Yep.
Hopefully not too much drama.
More than likely, Aaron will be filming because...
Yeah.
And if it's not done...
Yeah. Michael said if it's not done, it's still going to the track, and he'll try to finish it at the track. And I mean, if you get 1 lap out of it, it's worth it, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a long drive for 1 lap, but you know what? That's what we did with the single cam.
It was, yeah.
How many laps did I get it? Maybe 5 that whole weekend.
Yeah, the very first time we took the single cam out to Medford, it was
my first drive with the single cam.
Well, with it turboed.
Well, yeah. Sorry, with it turboed, with the cage,
yeah.
with new suspension.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was first track day, and it was not done. All right. Well, to start things off, Michael is.
Just been dreading it. I mean, I've been doing it, but I haven't been doing it because it's a lot of work. The car, and it's still at like shell, and like I keep telling myself I need to do the wiring, but then I'm like, oh, I could do my arms. They're easy. I'll do my arms or my suspension, and then I'm like, no, I need to go back to wiring, but I'll still do like the arms. One thing I didn't mention since the last video that I've done is the lower arms, the front tube front is on, and I got my fuel filter in. That's by the tank. So I relocated my filter next to the tank when normally it's up by the strut tower. It's just something I wanted to do just so it cleans up the bay a little bit.
This is the stock location.
Which any of you that have a 240 will know that's the stock location.
But not all of you have a 240, so it is now right here. And I guess all he did was use the Q45 bracket. And is it screwed in, or is it just zip tied there? I saw it zip tied. So.
Oh no, it's screwed in to the frame of the car. And since the Z32 filter is a lot bigger than the stock Q45 one, it sits up, like it clamps to it really nicely, but just with drifting, you don't know, so I zip tied around it just to hold it in place, just for extra measures. Well, I'm hoping I can get just double check this here in a minute, get this plugged in, run the wires where they need to run, cut them, and then I'll pin everything. We'll put pins on the ends of them and then pin it in. And hopefully we'll be good. But I still, before we hear startup, I have to do the switches, the wiring for the switches, and
fluids. You need to put oil in it.
Yeah. So definitely not a definite answer on when I'll be done with this, but by Bash.
You've got 12 days.
I got 12 days.
You've got 12 days. On that note, I've been working on Jade. I haven't dove into the calipers, but I wanted to take care of this first. I went ahead and moved the master cylinder reservoir for my hydro up front because it was just getting really annoying and frustrating to have to bleed it, and pull the dash apart and everything. And I know we talked about that when I was doing it, but I was like, oh, it's not going to be a big deal. Well, it's a big deal. It's fucking annoying. That went real quick. Just a couple self-tappers. The kit that we got, which is Willwood 260 10372. It's a single outlet 3/4 inch master. I think Michael's running 2 of those. I've got 1, and then I'll be getting another one to match his brake booster delete sometime. But it comes with everything you need to do the remote mount. It comes with the hose and everything. And so I did want to put it over with the other fluids, but it just wasn't going to work out. This is a good spot for it. I didn't have to use any extended hose. The piece that they sent was the perfect length. So, all right, well, I got one caliper done, but the other box didn't have the right shit in it, so I gotta wait. We're gonna run to O'Reilly's in a couple hours. I ordered another one, so hopefully it's right this time, and we can get that ready to go. He's still working on that, but once he frees up, I'll have him help me bleed the hydro so I can start putting the interior back together and all of that. So I wanted to go over the list real quick. Still on the list: front bash bar, mount tires, pack tote, bolt check, detail, and check the front end bolts. So bolt check on the bolt check on the left rear is done. Mount tires I'm waiting for probably the last week. Pack tote, I'll do the same thing then. Bolt check, I'm working on that just kind of as I go around the car. Detail I'm not going to do till last week. I got to jack the front up to do the front bolt check, so I'm going to start wrapping my head around this bash bar until it's time to go. So I had planned on building this like from one end. Since I'm still learning this process and everything, I'm just going to build from the center so I can get symmetry. I know I won't run out of tubing, and then we'll just cut the ends off. I should have enough then. I'm going to try to kind of mimic Street Faction style. So I've marked center, and then I marked 11.5 inches out on each side. I'm going to start with a 15-degree bend there, and then we'll see where and how drastic I need to cut those in. So I got the tube bender out, get that thing all set up, try to relearn it, and then we'll be good to go. All right, so I got the first piece bent up and placed. Now I'm just working on figuring out how I'm going to mount it. It was definitely frustrating to bend it, but once I got through the first one, I kind of picked up a rhythm and it seemed to work. I'm pretty excited. That was the most mind-fucking challenging part for me. The rest of it should go pretty smoothly, so I just got to figure out the best way to do it and do it. Doing something. All right, we just got back from O'Reilly's. I got the right shit now. Michael got some stuff, some more hoses and fluids and stuff for his car. But he's still working on the wiring. Pretty cool. We have some new neighbors. We went down, checked out their shop, and went to lunch with them. So I've got all my wheels back on. I gotta check my subframe bolts. I gotta check my diff bolts. Other than that, the rear bolt check is done. The brakes are bled. They're holding pressure. They feel good. The hydro's bled. Moving that reservoir was huge. So it makes life so much easier having it right here instead of tucked up under the dash. But I wanted to show you guys what Michael's got going, because I don't think we've really shown inside the car a whole lot, like with his panel and everything. So let's get a quick breakdown on what Michael's got going on.
All right, so one of the things when Aaron looked in the car, he didn't notice I welded up this plate, which I probably filmed it, but it's on one of the videos that I've been just trying to get this done, so I haven't really edited or anything. So here, I got some Allen bolts here.
That even looks cooler than how you had it.
What do you mean?
Just like with it on the dash, like that looks way cooler. You also welded this in.
Yeah, so I got my wink mirror in. So I also have it like tucked up against the cage and where I can see out the back. But I can, if I can loosen this up, I can bring it down a little bit.
And this is just the tab, like the brackets that came with it, right?
Yeah, and I bent them up on the top.
Okay.
Just, it was a little short. So I bent them so they'd have at least a little bit of surface to weld on. And I just did a few little tacks on the other side. It's just a mirror. So here, as you can see, my ECU, coil pack, the igniter chips, and my distribution blocks are up here on the top. I had it routed a different way where we thought it looked good or it functioned really well, but I didn't like how it looked. And it was hard to access my fuses and the relays if anything went out, because it was actually on the top, so I'd have to pull out my whole dash. So now the fuse, it's the same panel and we just flipped it for now, and it's underneath there. So there's my fuse and relay panel. I've tucked it into that just one plate. Kind of reusing old stuff. I do want to do it a little different, but for time's sake, this works for now. Oh, also, few videos back, Aaron was getting mad that I guessed about my shifter hole. Look at how perfect this is. It's not perfect, but it's almost dead on for guessing.
For a 100% guess, that's fucking amazing.
It wasn't 100%. It was more
no, it was 100% guess. You didn't know.
Yeah, because hold on. We had the old tunnel cut out for this already.
But
so but I went from underneath.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So I kind of went off like a little bit off that for center, and then I drilled it. But that was a complete guess of how much to go off the side of that.
No, dude, that worked really well. So just for reference, I've got my bracket up there that this will slide into. There. And then we'll just put a bend on this, bring it up, notch it. I am going to go and drill a hole through this once I get this made, so that it'll go, I can run a pin straight down through it, like one of those quick release pins, and that'll be what holds this thing on. It is 8:30. I've got one of the pieces notched and ready to weld. The other side I got to make my mount first, but the battery on the drill is dead and I'm just waiting. So I'll probably finish that tomorrow. I'll probably just get everything ready to go so that I can just get here, cut a few things, weld a few things. How are you doing, Michael?
I'm good. Starting to get this plug pinned.
Can we get a one wire rundown on how this works?
Yeah, let me get this one in. I'll do my next one. Cool. All right, so the plug that I went with for the engine harness is a Deutsch 47 pin.
There'll be a link in the description.
Yeah, so as you can see, it looks very confusing. So this side doesn't have any numbers. The inside does. So it's actually kind of hard when you're trying to pin it. You're like, did I make it through? When I did my engine harness, I wrote down what each wire went into number-wise on the pin. So I'm going through this. I'm pretty much going 1 through 47. My next wire that I have is for the VTC, variable timing control, power wires. So I have to make my own power wire for that. That'll run the length of this harness. Kind of just cut a little bit off. Think about that much. Take one of your pins here. It's really tiny. Should slide right into this. And you want to see the wire inside this inspection hole. It might be blurry, but there's a little inspection hole on there. And once you see the wire there, that's a good length. Then you take these special these crimpers. They crimp 4 ways. There'll be a link in the description for that too. Put it in here. These ones are a little small for this crimper, so you kind of have to hold it in place. And you just crimp it down. And you got your pin there. I can pull really hard and it doesn't come out. And my next plug or pin that it's going into, or hole, is 11. So I look onto this side, make sure it's up and down, and 11 is right here, which is right down from this last one I did. Start putting it in, and I don't push all the way. Make sure it's sticking out through number 11, and then I just click it in.
Well, it's now 10:30. Where are you at?
I finished the plug as far as I can go for now. The rest of the stuff is the igniter chip to the coil packs that I forgot to run when the plug was in there, and the temp sensor. Aaron, thank you so much for putting some stuff together. You got my brake reservoir in, brake pedal, clutch reservoir, seat, hydro, and steering column. And I was an idiot and was probably picking up bolts and like, oh, I don't need this. Oh, I don't need this one. And threw it in the bolt bin. Now I got to try to figure out what bolt this was.
This brake booster delete came in clutch with this VH swap.
Yep.
So he already had that, but if you're doing the swap for yourself, definitely go that route.
Yeah.
I think the kit's only like you can get the plate from GK Tech for like $20, right?
Yeah, it's $35.
$35 for the adapter plate. The master cylinder kit's another 60 or 70. Mm-hmm. And then he has the Chase Bay lines, which are $300. That's like their going rate on everything. Or if you can make your own lines or something else, but it's a good kit. Came in clutch here, so it's 11 o'clock. Way too late to be here.
Yep.
But we got a good number of things done today for day one of our 15-day streak. Hopefully, we got the bash bar for my car pretty much ready to go. We'll be able to finish that up in a couple hours tomorrow. My brakes are solid, and I got to put my interior back together after moving that reservoir up. So Michael killed 75% of that harness, and he's thinking that he'll be able to just button it up tomorrow. Maybe 2 more days, just depending on how shitty it gets, because what he has left is like some soldering and other shit like that. We got a lot of his interior back together for, pretty much we got to, we didn't update them on your steering column. Bad news. Yep. Drama.
Bad news. It's hitting my headers. Hopefully we'll be able to get in there with like a piece of pipe and hammer the headers in more. If not, the motor's coming out again.
But we did also get a fender on. I wanted to start making the braces for that, so that we can get his hood on and start seeing if we have clearance issues and stuff like that.
The nice thing with putting the stock fenders on is you have the stock holes to mount, so when I do go aftermarket fenders, they'll already be lined up and I can drill wherever I need to.
Update, Bash to the Future, 12 more days to go, 11 technically. We're gonna bring you guys dailies. It's gonna be a lot like this video where it's just kind of like, all right, this is what we got done. We'll try to like throw in some clips like we did with Michael wiring up that connector. It's crunch time for us, so it's gonna be, all right, this is what we gotta do. All right, done, we did that. Here's what we did. Kind of just, so if that's not what you're looking for, I'm sorry, but we gotta drive. Yeah. That's really not an option at this point. Thanks for tuning in to our channel, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Peace.
Later. That was a sneeze fart. Stay going. No, it feels so good up there.